What's going on YouTube? Having some technical difficulties, but today I'm cooking my simple air fryer chicken wings. Simple, straightforward recipe, only one ingredient, adobo with saffron. And I guess this is the main ingredient, the chicken, the star of the show, I guess. So all we need from this ingredients is saffron. And come back after I wash the chicken and pat it dry. Make sure if you do this, the chicken is dry. You can throw it straight in the air fryer if you want to, because a lot of people say you don't have to clean chicken anymore. You don't have to wash chicken, excuse me. But I'm gonna wash mine and dry it off and then come back and put it directly into the air fryer. I tried 1,000 different ways to get this recipe right. I experimented with all different kind of seasons and whatnot, or different kind of marinade. I prefer to marinate my chicken, which I normally do. I marinate my chicken like I marinate everything else. This is like my steaks. So I experimented. I got tired of trying air fryer chicken and it wouldn't come out just right. I tried jerk chicken, pre-marinated from Sprouts. I tried homemade marinated chicken, 1,000 different ways, and it came out tasting pretty average, which I didn't care for. So one day I got tired of it. I bought like a couple batches of chicken, like maybe 4 or 5 of these, or longer packs. And I just, every day I came home from work, I would just experiment and make a different recipe. Then one day finally I made a good ass marinade. Put one for the stove, one in the air fryer, one in the Instant Pot, and all see how they all cook. And the one in the air fryer came out the fastest. Well, I can't say the fastest, but it came out tasting pretty good. But it was lacking something. Like most of the seasonings just went into, because it's a perforated holes in here, like all the grease dropped through. I feel like that most of the seasons ran off with the liquids, just dripped through the thing. So anyway, came home and experimented. I found out the best way to do the air fried chicken without having to add all that flour and stuff like that, which I don't want to do. I did that when I first got the air fryer. I feel like it was too much of a hassle. I don't even fry chicken that often anyway, and if I do, I would use a deep fryer. And I only do like chicken nuggets or cut the breast in small little pieces, so I'm not a big fan of fried chicken anyway. So with that being said, it's gonna be straightforward. I'm gonna wash the chicken, I'm gonna pat it dry, and I'm gonna come right back as I place the chicken in the air fryer. Okay, real quick while I'm about to dry my chicken, it's important. I try to use this adobo seasoning with the lemon pepper, and it didn't cook the same. So it's something about the saffron that cooks real good. It gets the chicken a nice browning, and it stays on there, and it's a nice salty kind of. It's almost like a dry rub chicken that you would get from like an Asian restaurant or something like that. My son absolutely loves it. He'll eat this whole pack by itself, and I keep these on standby. I keep them in the freezer. I'm in the refrigerator and the freezer actually. One day, so I just want to throw them in there. Like my son says he's hungry right now, so I'm gonna do a bit of multitasking. Got a thing for fried eggs right now, so I'm gonna make a fried egg on the side as I'm doing this. But let me see that. Let's do a fried egg over easy egg. You can hear my son in the background too playing video games. And you can also try different seasons too. I do a good thing with lemon pepper. I do the same thing, and I feel like to me they work the best as you season them as you put them on. Yeah, just put them on season as you go, so the season bakes in as you cook it. So I love my I do a lemon pepper. This lemon pepper didn't come out good; it just tasted straight like salt for some reason for me. So I don't care for that too much. But just regular lemon pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, Creole seasoning. I do a combination, pour those on there. Like I do, put it on one side, flip it, put it on the other side, flip it, and I just flip it a total of 4 times. And I season it each time and cook it a little bit more, and I bake it in. And with my lemon pepper, it's a little twist to it because I make a lemon pepper sauce that I dip it in when it comes out. And I'll show you that recipe. I'll do that recipe maybe the next day or two. So, put some napkins down, some paper towels, and try to dry my chicken real quick because like I said, I just washed mine off. Wasn't going to plan on showing you how I dry the chicken or washing the chicken, but on these other video channels I watch, I guess a lot of people who complain about people not washing their food beforehand. So I'm just showing you, just drying mine off. I'm just gonna dry it off real good. This is just the first napkin. I'm probably gonna get a couple paper towels and try to do it. So I'll be back when I agree to load it in the air fryer. So I'm back. Just put the chicken a little. I just place the chicken in here, keep it a little bit of separate away, a little bit apart. Sorry, I can hear myself talking on the program in the back of the room. So I pretty much just put the chicken in there. I feel like it's a little wetter than I really wanted to. I'm going to pat it dry one more time. I usually do it straight on a napkin and not in a bowl, so the napkin on the bottom usually covers some of it up. The bowl, obviously, it's not as good. It's setting it on the napkin. And I usually let it sit for a while because I want it completely dry, but my son's kind of hungry today. Yeah, actually, it's like he's starving. So, had some technical difficulties with this camera to get it right. For some reason, when I hit record, it kept changing the angle, the pattern on, kept going like, I don't know. So when I hit record, on the short videos it worked fine. So when I started doing a long talking head video, it would switch mid video. I'm not sure why that is, but chicken's pretty dry. I do prefer it to be a little bit drier. So if I was you, I'll put like maybe 2 or 3 napkins down as you when you bring it out. Like I say, I don't necessarily preheat my air fryer, not for this recipe, so I don't preheat my air fryer. But the fact that it's wet a little bit will make the chicken stick to it a little bit. So in this case, it's a little wet. I wish I preheated it so it wouldn't stick. But we're gonna go for it. I'm gonna tilt this up a little bit so you get a little better angle. And I'll literally just generously spread this saffron on there, adobo with saffron, directly right onto the chicken. And it's real straightforward. Just pretty much get it on there as much as you want. I'm a little more generous with it than I probably should be. Like I say, my son loves this to death, so it'll be pretty much his whole meal. And from there, you just scroll down to 10 minutes. And scroll down to 350, and let that cook again on this side. It's really straightforward. Set my timer for 10 minutes, or just come back in 10 minutes and I'll try it again. And I'll flip it again, excuse me. Okay, so the first 10-minute cycle is up. And this is how they look initially. So nothing to be excited about for the most part. And I'm just gonna turn them over. And I don't use my tongs because I decided, I feel like when I turn them over my tongs, it takes most of the seasoning off there. And if, like when I finish the tongs be full of seasoning, I feel like it takes most of the seasoning off there. So I'm just gonna flip these, literally flip them one by one over. I got a fork in my hand. I'm use my hand to reach in there and just flip them one by one to the opposite side. I'll probably speed this up for sake of editing. Ready? I'm no homeschool, so I'm tricking my son's paper after this. You can see that first in this? You got the first one? No. Okay. Of course. Sorry to the feedback camera, so this is the second side, first 10 minutes. Grab my seasoning. And just season the other side. It's really straightforward, very simple. I'm just gonna do this 3 times. But I changed the temperature after the second time. So this is just a slow cook on 350 to make sure it's cooked on the insides. I'm probably rushing right now, so I'm not being as thorough because me and my son are doing homework that we have a 5 o'clock deadline or 8 o'clock deadline to turn his homework in. So then, second time, again, set to 350 for another 10 minutes. And I'll be back after those 10 minutes. Okay, so this is the second cycle, the second 10-minute cycle. This is the second side. Try to do it at an angle. And I'm literally just rinse and repeat. Flipping it over. I want to grab a spoon this time, but I'm going to use the same fork because I'm no point of dirtying up another dish. And this time I'm definitely going to flip the chicken, or fast forward this, hopefully in the editing stage. I would stop it right now if I didn't have chicken on my hand. Stop the record, but it's a little hot. You know, my hands are, I grew up, and I say grew up, but I lived off my George Foreman years ago, so I'm used to touching hot stuff on the grill with my hands, flipping stuff from the George Foreman. But you see it's getting a little bit darker. And I'm literally going to put it right back in the air fryer. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to coat it again on the other side. See, I'm rushing to get done now. Literally just put a little bit more. You can kind of end it here if you wanted to. Some of it 4 times is maybe a little overkill. Like I say, I don't get much myself. I don't know. I say it was Saffron, how healthy the seasoning is, but I do this for my son more so, and I'll do it often. Like I said, keep on standby, but most of the time, I switch up recipes. I think I get a lot of salt and saffron, so I try to use garlic and maybe other seasonings like that. Before I do the same thing, I put some the red sauce on chicken. So basically, we're putting it back in the air fryer, but this time instead of doing it on 350, I'm putting it on 400 because now I feel like I already cooked the inside, and now I'm just trying to crisp out the outside a little bit. So I'm doing 400 for 5 minutes this time. The first two times was 350 on for 10 minutes. So 10 minutes, 10 minutes, two 10-minute cycles, which is 20 minutes. And now I'm on 5-minute cycle for 400. And I'm going to flip it one last time. That's my reminder to check my steaks. But, yeah, sorry about that. So like I say, for 400 on 5 minutes. Then I'm going to take it out, flip it one last time, another seasoning coat, 400 on 5 minutes, then it'll be completely done. And I'll be right back. I'm going to check my steaks. Okay, that third cycle has just ended. And you see it's getting a little bit more darker, a lot more actually. This is like the perfect golden brown. And this is so like I say, same rinse and repeat, flipping it one last time. See, one last time just gets the other side just a little bit darker. And I always wash my hands right before in between takes. And my son playing video games and didn't close his door this time, so you might hear him yelling and screaming of excitement, whatever, you know. Kid being a kid, typical 11-year-old. His YouTube channel is coming soon. What's the gaming channel? I knew that was going to happen. I'm trying to tilt it up a little bit to give you a better view, because for some reason I do my phone at a straight angle. It keeps changing the camera, the video horizontal vertical thing in between shoots, so I had to do it at a tilt, and which is hard to make this one piece stay where it is. But anyway, so last cycle, that was a little too much camera on that one. Kind of weird trying to look at the camera and cooking, make sure my hand's still in the frame, but last take. In this last 5-minute cycle, if the food's not quite ready, I typically hold this last 5 minutes until everything's pretty much placed on the table. Like I say, I like this like it to be done like pretty much right when dinner is served. Maybe I might be doing the last few touches on the salad or whatnot. But that's how it looks the last cycle, and I'll be setting that again for 5 more minutes for additional 400 degrees. So this is the 4th cooking cycle for a total of 30 minutes. And literally it takes like maybe 20 or 30 seconds in between to flip all the chicken pieces. And I'll be back until the next cycle ends. Okay, and that's the final cycle of the air fryer. So this is the end result. Air fryer chicken. Closer view with this camera. Broke out my son's camera. And that's the final result of the air fryer chicken. Actually a little lighter than I used to. It's probably just because, like I say, because I've never put it in wet. But it comes out pretty easy, pretty straightforward. And the cleanup isn't that bad either. I usually, after I remove the chicken, put it right onto a plate. And I'll run soap and water directly under the basket to clean all the chicken grease and stuff out. I'm almost tempted to cook it one more time, get a little bit darker, but my son loves it as is. I tend to like my stuff more well done than him. I just like stuff crispy. Now it's safe to use the tongs because it's pretty much crispy and that seasoning is pretty much baked in. Of course, you still get some residual seasoning on the bottom of the pot, which is expected. But if the majority of it stays on, you're gonna lose some of it when this grease is, when the grease start coming. You're gonna lose some of it eventually. But this is the final result. And I'm gonna put this under, like I said, under some hot water right now. and air fryer chicken. One step. Only ingredient, saffron in the chicken. And it's amazing. Let me break a piece apart so you can see if it's cooked on the inside. So you guys can see. I picked these ends because my son doesn't like these so much. Let's see. Perfectly cooked on the inside. It's piping hot. I got steel belted fingers. And tongue for that matter. Always delicious. Well, that's it, YouTube. For that recipe. I'm sorry, I'm still feeding my face. So let me know if you have any comments, any questions I didn't answer, any things I skipped over. And also let me know what you want to see next. But until next time, take care and hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me know in the comments if you tried it and what you thought. And also, if you can try it with other seasons, like I said too. Any others of your favorite seasons: paprika, smoked paprika, lemon pepper, garlic powder, cayenne season. I didn't try it at all, but the saffron is the most easiest and the straightforward. Just one ingredient, and it's better than KFC. Definitely better than Wingstop. I did Parmesan chicken too. I'll probably do that recipe as well. I got my own Parmesan chicken recipe. Oh, it's to die for. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any opinions. Also, just let me know. Drop me a like or not a like. Just let me know if you tried it and what you thought. Take care. God bless. Good night.